chat, please join our lesson for today. It's on our website called Nearpod. I'm going to send you another code right now. Please join on your laptop, please. Our whole lesson will be there, and I will share on the Microsoft Teams too. Guys, can you join any faster, please? Okay, we have here Awesome, Saeed, Muhannad, Yusuf. Okay, thank you. I will start with the introduction until the other students join. So welcome everybody to our today's lesson. It will be guided by me and my classmate Obada.
Our today's lesson is overview of curve sketching.
Okay.
Awesome. Can you read our lesson objectives?
Of course. Sketch the graph of a given function using the properties and its first and second derivative.
Okay, thank you. Now, if you open the Nearpod website, there's an activity that you will use. I want you to write everything you know about properties of the any graph, like you've learned it in the past years, anything. Okay, I will start with an example because some of you are confused. Like for example, the first thing we should do. Okay, okay. Thank you, Yusuf Arif. It has zeros. It's increasing functions or decreasing or both. Okay, thank you. Great answer. Rahman Ali, domain and range, X-intercepts and Y-intercepts. Okay, a graph must have two vertices. Nice. Okay, thank you all for those great answers. Okay, I will give you just less than 1 minute to write your answers. Oh, there's more answers. Okay, Mohammed Munir, domain, thank you. Mohammed Wasim. Okay, thank you all for your great answers. Okay, now, Abu Kashif, can you read the keywords, please?
Okay. Vertical asymptotes, horizontal asymptotes, slant asymptotes, vertical tangent.
Okay, thank you. Now, if you look in your Nearpod website, you're going to find a quick review for what we've learned in the past years and some practices. Okay, you can pick your avatar and start and just join. Okay, we have Abdullah Khouya here. Yusuf Arif. Okay, now we are full here. Let's start. So basically, you're going to find questions. There's two options. You choose one, and the score will be shown in the end of the game. Let's start. Abdurrahman Ali is in first place. Abdullah Khouya, second place. Yusuf Arif, third place. Muhammad Wasim, Obada, Asim, Mohammed Munir, and Yusuf Fawzi. Great job, guys. Now let's move on. Okay, so we have steps to draw graphs of any graph, any kind of graph. We have steps to draw it. So the first step is defining or determining the domain of f of x first. Then we find if there's vertical asymptote, like for points from the domain of x, check the limits, and if it's a rational function, the zeros of the denominator, that would be a vertical asymptote. And then we could use the first derivative information to use the extrema and the increasing features.
Number 4 is vertical tangent line. For x equals c such that c belongs to domain f and c does not or did not belong to f prime domain, check limit f prime of x when x approaches to c. Number 5, second derivative information. Determine where f of x is concave up or down. Determine inflection points. Number 6, horizontal asymptotes determine the end behavior of f of x when x approaches to infinity and minus infinity. Number 7, intercepts. X-intercept for f of x equals 0 to find x. Y-intercept for x equals 0, find f of x. Solve directly if you can approximate using Newton methods. Okay, who can remind us of Newton's method formula? Raise your hand, please. Abdurrahman Ali.
X naught minus f of x naught on the f of prime of x naught.
Good job. Right.
Okay, say it again.
X n than 1 is equal to x naught minus f of x over f prime of x.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Mohamad Wasim, can you read the example?
Example, draw a graph of f of x equals x قوة 4 plus 6x قوة 3 زائد 12x تربيع زائد 8x زائد 1 showing all significant features.
Okay, nice. Now predict the general shape of the function.
Okay, so here's another activity. All you have to do is draw like a general shape of the graph. Okay. Okay, awesome, great one. Okay, nice. Here's Yusuf Arif's graph. Okay, Abu Kashif, you might check your answer again. Thank you all for your great answers. They all are correct. They are like the general shape for the quartic equation. Yeah, it will look like maybe a U or maybe a W. We will check from the graph when we solve it algebraically with Obada, and we will come and check again. Okay, Obada, you can go on.
Okay. First of all, the first step to solve that question is we have to find all significant features. First, we have to find the first derivative informations for that function. Who can help me with finding the first derivative? Raise your hand, please.
f prime of x will equal 4x to the power of 3 plus 18x squared plus 24x plus 8.
Okay, that's right. Then we have to find the zeros. That's called critical points. Who can help me with it? That's right. The next step, we draw a numbers line and we place the numbers that we find, that we just had, and check the signs from the right and the left using our calculators. Who can help me with that?
Okay, so from the left of the -2, it's minus, and from the right of -2, it's also minus, and from the right of the negative half, it's positive.
Okay, can you give me the interval of the function decreasing?
Yeah, it's from negative infinity to -2, unite from -2 to -half.
Okay, very good, that's right. Mohamad Wasim, can you give me the interval of increasing? For the increasing?
From -half to infinity.
Very good. Okay, then who can help me with to find the point that have a local minimum from the number sign? Hands.
The local minimum is -1/2 because it's decreasing then increasing, so we have a local minimum at this point.
That's right. Okay, then the next step is finding the second derivative informations. We have to derivative the function that like 2 times. The function was 4x cubed plus 18x squared plus 24x plus 8. We have to derivative second of another time. Who can help me with finding it? We draw another numbers line and we place the -2 and -1, and we check the signs. We know it's a quadratic function, so we know the outside intervals have the same chart, same sign, and inside have the opposite sign. Third step, we have to find we draw the function.
Okay, so basically -2 is 1, and -1 is 0, minus 0.5 is minus 0.69, minus 0.16 is 0, and 0 is 1.
Okay, very good. Abdurrahman Ali, start like, what is the limit for f of x when x approach to infinity?
Infinity.
And minus infinity?
Also infinity.
So now we have the graph, another graph question. I will solve it for you. The domain.
Can I say it?
Yeah, awesome, okay.
So plus and -1.
Try again. Okay, good job, Yusuf. It is R. Your mistake here was awesome because when you try to solve for the the domain for any square root is always bigger than 0, but this function will never be smaller than 0, because even if it does have if x has a negative value, the square would cancel it out. That's why that was your mistake.
Okay.
Now,
thank you very much for clarifying.
Now here the domain is all real numbers. Okay, now what is the first step when we're trying to graph a function? Finding the domain is finding the derivative, the first derivative.
Can I say it?
Can someone help me? Okay, awesome. Can you?
2x over.
Okay.
2 in the same root.
Okay, good job. So see how we like the new lessons for this trimester. We're revising the trimester 1 stuff. So we're basically just it's a whole cycle. Okay, now that we found the first derivative, what is the next step?
We find the critical points.
Okay, so there's a saying that Mr. Abdel is always saying, we have to do a triangle for the undefined
and the 0.
And zero. So do we have an undefined here?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Can someone tell me why?
Because the domain is all real numbers.
Exactly. Okay, what are the zeros for this function?
2x minus equals 0.
Okay, which means x equals
0.
Okay, good job. Let's just highlight it here. Okay, so what's the next step?
Put it on the number line.
Okay, so I'm going to put the zeros, which is 0. So can someone tell me from the right of the 0, what is the sign?
Can I say?
Yes, okay, Abdurrahman.
Positive.
Okay, so here is gonna be positive. And what about from the left side of the zero?
Also positive.
Try
No,
again.
sorry, negative. Negative.
Yes, okay. So here negative. Okay, so as we've learned before, when the derivative of a function is positive, that means that the original function is
Decreasing from left side.
okay. Good job. Increasing from the right side, it's increasing. What about from the right side?
Decreasing.
Okay, good job. Now we've located, and now we've assigned numbers for the function. I'm sorry, I forgot to write 0 here. Okay, now what do? Like we found the intervals for the decreasing, which are increasing from negative infinity to 0. Those information, what do we conclude from all of the information? What's going to be here?
Across.
A minimum.
Okay, good job. A local minimum. Okay, what do we have to find first before graphing?
X-intercept and the Y-intercept.
Exactly. Okay, so how do you find the x-intercept?
Making the Y equals 0.
The y equals 0. Okay, correct. Here we put the function equal to 0, not substitute x for 0.
Yes.
So x squared plus 1. So in the previous step, we concluded that this function cannot be 0. That means that we do not have, there is no x-intercept. Now let's find the y-intercept. On this step, we substitute with x with 0. Square plus 1, which is going to give us at the end equal 1. So now we found that there is no x-intercept for the function, and but we have an y-intercept at y equal 1. So let's try to draw it. Here's a graph. Let's suppose here is 1, 2, 1, negative 1 and 2, 1, 2, negative 1 and 2. Okay, so what are we going to plot first?
The X and Y intercepts.
Okay, so from the X, Y intercept here, and we said that it's increasing from 0 to infinity, right? Like that. And from the other part, it's going to be decreasing, like that. And that's the whole function. Now let's go back to the slides and let's see if our solution was correct. As you can see here, it's like the same, the 0 and 1, the x-intercepts, there is no x-intercept. And now we just have a quick activity. If you can join it and do it, please. Okay, so I see that most of you finished. Good job, everyone. Now it's a quick survey. Please let me know if you've liked the lesson. And that's it for today. And for anyone who writes no, I'm going to fail him in this class. Okay, thank you everyone for your feedback. And that's it for today's lesson. Thank you all for your participation. And that's it.
Oh,
Very good job, Mohamad Samy Obada.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohamad Samy Obada.